Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Isfarhan and today I will talk about the classification of companies. Companies can be classified within three types, which are company limited by shares, companies limited by guarantee, and unlimited companies. For a company limited by shares and unlimited company, both can be a public or private company, while only company limited by guarantee has to be a public company. A company limited by shares means that its member obligation to the company is limited to the amount, if any, unpaid on shares held by the members. For example, if a shareholder subscribed for 100,000 share capital and had only paid 80,000 ringgit, his liability is limited to the 20,000 ringgit unpaid on his shares. On the other hand, if the shares are fully paid up and there is no further liability, in the event of liquidation of the company whose share have been fully paid up, the shareholder are not liable to the company debts, if there are any. In other words, the personal asset of shareholders such as his house, car, etc. cannot be taken by the company to settle its debt. A company limited by guarantee means that the member liability is limited to such amount as the member undertake to contribute in the event of the company being wound up. Such a company can only be formed for the purpose of providing recreation or amusement, promoting commerce and industry, or promoting art, science, religion, charity, or pension scheme, or promoting any other object useful to the community. A company limited by guarantee is required to apply its profit or any other income to promote its object, and it cannot be paid dividends to its member. It is not allowed to hold land unless a license has been obtained from the minister. In the event it is wound up, the company's assets are to be transferred to another body with similar object. It can be applied to the minister for a license to have the word Berhad or BHD emit from its name. An unlimited liability company is one from on the principle of having no limit placed on the liability of its member. In the event the company wound up and has insufficient asset to settle its debt, the shareholders will be required to contribute to the asset of the company to enable it to settle its debt. In the respect, it is similar to a sole proprietorship and unlimited partnership. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hello, my name is Muhammad Zamri Ibrahim bin Muhammad Zamri. So today I'm going to talk about type of companies. Firstly, a public company is a corporation whose ownership is distributed amongst the general public shareholders via the free trade of share of stock on exchange. Obviously, it's a completely different than a private company that is required to have a word Berhad at the end of its name, such as Axiata Group Berhad and many more. Besides, there is no limit on the maximum number of shareholders, unlimited. Next, private company. A private limited company by shareholder is known as a Sendirian Berhad company. This type of company is a separate legal entity from its owner, which means this company is considered as a legal person that can buy or sell their own property. It also presents into legal contracts, sue or get sued in courts of law. The shareholder is limited to 50 and is prohibited from inviting the public to subscribe to its share. Other than that, foreign company is a company already incorporated outside of Malaysia but has set up their business premises and operation in our country. So it is suitable for foreign companies that is undertaking operation in Malaysia that providing customer services. For instance, Sime Derby and the IB Haikon Berhad. In addition, Division 1 of Part V of the Company Act 2016 govern the regulatory requirement of foreign company. Lastly, as a private company is a private limited company. The share of an private company should not be held and are not held directly or indirectly by any corporation. An private company also cannot have more than 20 members and they need not file its annual account with the Company Commission of Malaysia CCM for the information of the public.
So, the registration requirement based on Companies Commission of Malaysia CCM is: first, permanent residents and citizens of Malaysia aged 18 and above. Number 2, register the business within 30 days from the day of commencement. Third, the nature of the registered business should not contravene any laws. Fourth, submit application for registration personally to the nearest piece of the company's commission or send by post. 5th, photocopy of identity card, photocopy of partnership agreement if any, license, permit, or supporting letter.
Hello, today I want to share with you about two things, which the first one is the financial reporting requirement and the second one is the component inside the annual report. Based on the financial reporting requirement of the Financial Reporting Act 1997, all the financial statements have to be prepared under any law administered by the Securities Commission, Central Bank, or any company that listed on a stock market exchange in Malaysia that shall comply with the MASB approved accounting standards. The second one is the business profile. The business profile describes about how the company generate income or generate their revenue, about how their products can be offered to be marketed in the market, and any innovation of their products that is better in quality from the past year. Next, annual report. What is annual report? Annual report is a financial document that the public company prepares for their shareholders. The fourth component is financial statement. It presents the basic financial statement so everyone can understand about the financial statement and the financial situation of the company easily. It includes the consolidated balance sheet, income statement, statement of cash flows, and statement of shareholders. It also includes the auditor's report to confirm the credibility of the financial statement of the company. While for the financial reporting requirement for the Companies Act 2016, the lodgement of the financial statements and reports to the registrar for the private company is within 30 days from the circulation of the financial statements to all their members, while for the public company, the submission of the financial statements have to be submitted within 30 days from their annual general meeting.
So, the legal requirements in Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad. Number 1, to make additional disclosure regarding the performance of the company. Number 2, to make a preliminary statement of result within 6 months following the end of the financial year. Last one, to issue half-yearly reports regarding their performance within 3 months following the end of the half year.
Advantage change from partnership to company form business is the biggest benefit a company offer over the partnership is liability protection. Shareholders don't risk losing personal asset because of a company debt. Companies are considered as a separate legal entities from the people who own them. Owners of partnership are held responsible for all company debts and legal responsibility, and are subject to losing personal asset if the company goes bankrupt and etc. Other than that, borrowing capacity. A company enjoys better avenue of borrowing of funds. It can issue debentures, secure as well as unsecure, accept deposit from the public, and etc. Even banking and financial institutions prefer to render large financial assistance to the company rather than partnership firms or priority concern. Next, taxation. Shareholders and partnership are pay income tax, while company pay corporation tax on their taxable profit. There is a wide range of allowance and tax deduction or deductible costs that can be offset against a company profit. The disadvantage change from partnership to company form business are restriction. Compared to proprietorship and partnership, a company has to comply with more legal requirements and it will consume more considerable time and effort. Lastly, management mischief. Sometimes the manager and director will misuse the company resource for their own personal benefits, and this will lead to bring losses to the company and possibly the company will be closed.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, 5 differences in partnerships and companies' financial statement. First, the capital account. So in partnerships firm, there are more than one capital account. So which means when there are more partners in the partnerships firm, there will be more capital account. So for the company's firm, the shareholders fund, which comprises many categories such as share capitals and retained earning. So profit and loss. So for the partnership firm, it will be distributed to the partners according to the agreed ratio. And for the company's firm, it will distribute it to the shareholders as dividends. And third, the income statement. So for the partnership firm, it will show a schedule on how the net profit or net loss is distributed to the partners. So for the company's firm, it shows a statement of changes in equity, where changes in share capital or profit during the year. And so for the balance sheet, so the partnership firm shows the balance of the capital amount of each partner classified under the owner's equity. And for the company's firm, as shareholder funds. So last but not least, the statement of changes in equity. For the partnership firm, besides the income statement and the balance sheet, a statement of partner's equity is also prepared to show the changes in equity of each partner during the year. And for the company's firm, it remained the same, which is the statement of changes in equity. That's all for me. Thank you.